I guess we start with tonight, man. Listen, Knicks playing the Mavericks. They kind of got their doors blown off. Um, I thought it was an interesting game, man, because just stylistically, Knicks have the slowest pace in the league. Pace wise, they're very slow. They don't get out on transition a lot. Mavs like to run. Mavs have one of the top defenses. Knicks have one of the top offenses. Kyrie, Brunson. That matchup. I know. Clay wasn't there. Luca wasn't there. Gafford wasn't there. So I said I don't know how much of a barometer this is, like as far as a test, because the Mavs aren't at full capacity. But I thought there's some things that was very interesting stylistically about the game. But honestly, the Knicks was bricking all night, bro. Bricking all night. They go from having their biggest offensive game of the season, and not only their season, of the whole NBA. I think they dropped the most points, 140, whatever the fuck it was, against Denver. And that was a really good win against Denver. OG got his shit off, 40 points, right? To maybe they're one of their worst scoring games of the season. Definitely the first quarter and the first half. I think they had 15 in the first half and 28 and 15 in the first quarter. I think it might have been 28 in the first half, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. OG went from busting niggas ass to getting the straps put on him. OG had a really terrible game. The only one who really, really balled out tonight was Brunson. And he started off cold, but he got hot. He had a really good game. The Mavs led as much as 24. The Knicks, I cut it to like I think 13 at one point, but to me it was never really close. The Mavs swarming on defense. You know what? One thing I like what the Mavs do is pause. I'm gonna say this in advance. They have the length and their size and the way they move their feet. You know what I'm saying? It's bothersome. Cat did his thing. I don't have the stats in front of me. Like I said, OG was cold. Mikel, it was really Brunson's show tonight, and they really got their doors blown off without Luca, Clay, and Gafford. So that's very disappointing, especially after the win against the Denver win, and the good win against the Suns. I know they lost to who they losing between
Jazz.
Utah. Yeah. So every time I think I have them figured out, right? They beat the Suns. I'm like, wow, good win. You know what I'm saying? Even without Kevin Durant, lose to the Jazz. I'm like, damn. They play no defense in that game. I'm like, shit. Then they blow Denver out. I'm like, yo, are they starting to cook again? Then they lose to Dallas. You know what I mean? So it's like, which Knicks will the real Knicks please stand up? That's the type of time I'm on. What is it? What is their record right now? 18 and I mean, I'm 10 and what?
10 and 8.
10 and 8, 18 games in. So what do we give them? About 25 games? They're coming up on that 25 game mark soon. And I still don't know. I mean, we know they're a high powered offense, but we still don't know how good they are, is what I'm trying to say. Q, you saw the game tonight. You tapped out. You was like, third quarter, I'm done. I gotta go find my son's fucking
y'all was digging through the trash. Y'all was looking like the sanitation worker and shit.
Digging through the trash. Nigga found his son's outfit, and he found the Daniel Jones jersey. Somebody threw out in the fucking stuff.
Okay, I ate a half a banana right after that.
Who are these Knicks in your opinion, man? And what was your thoughts on today?
I think the Knicks are a 3-point team, and and that speaks for most of the NBA, right? And in my opinion, they need to be some type of assist team, but move the ball. We didn't see that tonight. Like how you perfectly said, they got bottled up. That defense was there. There was so many horrible passes that were just in the lane of like somebody that can just grab it. Like why? Like they're running down under the hoop across the sideline and trying to pass the ball there. Like I just didn't see what they were trying to do, because this wasn't the Knicks that just blew the doors off the Nuggets. Fucking what? Brunson had 16 assists, career high, like that game, 17. Like 17. Yeah. They had 45 total assists. We only had 20 tonight. Like he was facilitating that game, and that's what he needs to do. I'm kind of starting to think we don't need him to score 37 points. I don't need playoff Brunson right now. I need Brunson to make everybody else do what they need to do. We need to win these games. We're not going to win these games with him just having 40 points and 5 assists. Like that's not going to work, and him getting other people involved and knowing when to do that. But I just think they were really
But
cold
everybody
tonight.
was
I don't know if
bricking
it's
tonight. Crazy.
yeah. I don't know if it was the rim, but look, we shot 27 from the
Yeah.
3-pointer. Come on, we was 7 for 29. In this type of NBA era, you are not. I don't care who you are.
729.
You're not winning that game.
Yeah.
You know, you're not
Mavs
winning
was
that game.
51% from 3-point range. That's crazy.
It's
They was on
wild.
You know,
fire, G.
and this is what the Knicks need to play team basketball, you know, and I'm not saying it's Brunson's fault or blaming anybody, but we need to get all these guys involved, OG and Mikal Bridges, and make easier shots. They need to start realizing much sooner in the game, not in the second, third quarter. Don't be the Giants and start throwing the ball to Malik Neighbors in the fourth quarter. We need to start realizing when we're not hitting our shots, we have to create it. We have to talk together, guys, move it out the ball, and Brunson has to be the facilitator to do that. And he has to. He's the captain. He has to do that. It's on his back at this point. And tonight it was just not there. Not only they're missing shots, but they're doing horrible passes. And we shot a career high. Career high. But we shot way above our average. We're last place in free throws. And tonight we shot 29 of them shits, made 25 of them, and we still losing by 15 points. So I don't like the refs. I was watching the game and I'm like, all right, damn, they're just calling everything. We need all the type of help that we need right now, and we still couldn't get the W. And it's just it's inconsistency is going to kill you in this type of new NBA league.
That was a perfect take. Like the inconsistency, I think, is the biggest piece. We can score a ton. It's so bizarre to watch. Like, I'm looking at their stats now, and like these numbers are really high. We scored 145 points against the Nuggets. We scored 138 against the Suns. We scored 134 against the Wizards.
Yeah.
We scored 124 against the Nets. These numbers are high, 128 against the Pistons. So we know that we can score the basketball. That we do know. However, there's a flip side to that coin, right? We also got our asses kicked, and we gave up 132 points to the Celtics, week one. We get outscored when we're not clicking. And that's the problem. Like we have to
play defense. Yeah.
We don't play the defense that I would like to see. We gave up 121 to the Jazz, 129 to the Mavericks tonight. Those are really hot scores. I think it comes from expending too much energy on offense, to be honest, to the point where it doesn't translate on defense. I was talking to someone earlier today, and I was like, it's symmetrical. Cash, you play basketball. Q, you play basketball. We know that when you're clicking on offense, just your body, your energy is different, and you just tend to play better defense because you're flowing, right?
Yeah.
But what happens when you don't see the basketball go through the hoop? Shoulders slunch.
Yeah.
You fly down on defense, but maybe it's not the same because you're already thinking what I'm gonna do when I get the basketball again.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like what's happening to us in this stretch. So that's why we're seeing the inconsistency. We know for a fact we can absolutely fill up the basketball hoop, right? But at the same time, we also understand that when we're not manufacturing offense by playing better defense.
Right. Yeah.
It's not happening. It's just not. The great ones know how. All right, if take a Mike. Mike was able to, and I hate to go that far back because everybody's going to date me, but Mike was an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year in the same league. I mean,
LeBron too early on,
right? LeBron never won the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, but he was good on. He was all defensive team.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that again, that comes from just a mindset. Like, all right, I'm not maybe like my offense is not clicking. I got to affect the game in other ways. And then sometimes that energy translates and it correlates towards the offensive side of the basketball. I think that the Knicks get a little lost when we're not seeing that basketball go through the hoop as often as we would like to, or if we're getting bricks and shit like that, like we saw tonight. It just doesn't, it doesn't translate, and then we end up, getting our ass kicked to the tune of 129 to 114.
What worries me a little bit, and is Tibbs is like, and we said this before, Tibbs is a defensive minded coach. This is new territory for Tibbs, you know what I'm saying? This high powered offense and everything, listen, OG, stellar defensive player on that wing. You know what I'm saying? And you know he shit the bed tonight, but his offensive game has really been developing. You know, we saw tonight. OG, listen, develop your offensive game, but right now I don't want you putting the ball on the floor. We don't want you trying to create your own shot. We want you moving out the ball, backdoor cutting, you know what I'm saying, motion offense, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Putting back dunks and stuff like that. That's where you got to live at right now. I think at some point OG, I feel his game is progressing and progressing. At some point he'll be able to put the ball on the floor a little bit better. But JC Kidd and them really exposed him tonight. He can't put the ball on the floor. They made a conscious effort, you know, to strap him up and everything. But I do like what I'm seeing out of OG. 40 points the other night, career high. Um, you know, for you to be able to play at such a high level on both ends of the floor is just fucking incredible. And I think he should be an all-star. If not, he's a budding all-star.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, Mikal Bridges, you know, Mikal Bridges hasn't been able to really hasn't been shooting the ball well. And I think he is really struggling to find out his role offensively on this team because let's say OG becomes the third option now. You're looking at Mikal Bridges being the fourth option. Mikal Bridges put the ball on the floor a little bit better than OG, you know what I'm saying? But what I
Mm-hmm.
do like about Mikal Bridges, and you saw tonight, they had him on Kyrie early. I don't know if you guys peeped that. They had him
Mhm.
on Kyrie. He's guarding the other team's best player. And they talked, I
Yeah.
think Alan Hahn talked about that in the podcast. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's good. So, you know, we have some good defensive pieces. You've seen spots where Cat has excelled in that drop, you know, that drop zone defense. Um, Brunson's gone a little bit better, but overall, bro, if we're not like you said, if we're not outscoring people, we're not going to be able to win. And there's a lot of teams in the league. You know, I know we have one of the top offenses, but when shit slows the fuck down, we got to be able to stop people. You know what I'm
If
saying? We
there's
got
a
to be able
lid
to.
on that, if there's a lid on that
Right.
goddamn rim, we have to be able to put a lid on
Mm-hmm.
there.
And we're in
Yeah.
trouble. And I think, you know,
Yeah.
Precious and Mitch are on
It
deck.
help.
You know what I mean? Deuce is back, but man, there's something just not
Yeah. You could.
right with these guys, man. Like
You,
in terms of like whatever magic we had last year, where there's something missing, man. It's not all clicking, and you know, we'll see. It's still early,
yeah.
but it ain't that early. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's
I
true. And
love when you say that.
It's
yeah.
early until it's
Say
not.
it every week.
And it's funny because you can still see that they're searching for their identity, right? Because
Yeah,
like except aside from out of these 18 games, aside from maybe a hand, like maybe like one or two, maybe even three, if we're not winning by 15 or 20, we're losing by 15 or 20,
yeah,
like
yeah,
and it shows in the product that we're seeing,
yeah,
every other day. And I think they need to start, doing some little powwows together and start figuring the shit out because we can't go into this December or January and all-star break and then over here we're still seeing the same thing that we're seeing right now. We just can't have that.